And what's your view of what's driving this situation and what should be done?
Yeah. So, you know, the department has a mission with this, and that's that unaccompanied children that we can get off the border. You know, we've overwhelmed DHHS's ability to house them as we look for solutions to where they head to. They've selected some military posts to house the kids. So that's our first mission, and our mission is to take care of kids. And DHHS is still the lead in running the facilities, but we have a moral obligation to provide the support we can to make sure those kids are treated right. And we're doing that, and I'm very proud of that. But that's not the problem, and that's not the story. The story is really three parts. There's a push that's coming from Central America, primarily. And that push, something has happened that's changed the calculus, the risk calculus that parents are taking. You know, I served for over a year in Honduras. And, you know, wonderful people, they feel exactly the same way we do about our families. But they're putting those kids at risk and putting them on the road. So there's a push. Something's going on down there. And it's I believe it's the violence. It's the erosion of governance and law enforcement capability, and the loss of hope in those countries. And then there's a pull, which is the narrative of any confusion there is about, you know, what's your opportunity in America? What are the policies and things that are being, if there's confusion, that's pulling them. And then there's a distribution network that is willing to exploit them every step of the way through El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, and dropping them off on our border. And that's that network. Yeah. And to a great extent, especially the last tactical mile, it's the same network that's given you the drugs crossing and the cash crossing and the arms crossing, and maybe that dirty bomb someday.
Now, Admiral Gordney, during his confirmation hearing, was asked by Senator McCaskill, you know, isn't it true that the cartels are backing the smugglers who are taking these kids through Mexico, and the Mexican military isn't doing that much about it? I mean, how could they're transiting through the entire country unmolested. Right. What can we do to get the Mexican military or the law enforcement to take action?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I will tell you, first of all, the laws are very similar between the three countries of North America, and that is that there are not laws that empower the militaries of any of those three countries to conduct law enforcement operations. And so the Mexican military, just like the U.S. military, just like the Canadian military, are very uncomfortable taking on law enforcement tasks. But I will tell you that the law enforcement in Mexico needs work. And they absolutely need to continue to grow, and President Peña Nieto's got a program to do that. But it is infinitely harder to build a effective police force than it is effective military force, and we've learned that. I would say, though, that the Mexican military is hugely involved in counter-network fighting in Michoacan and in Tamaulipas. And when people say they're not doing anything, I'll take you back to what I said before. The leader of the Zetas, gone. The leader of the Sinaloa, gone. The leader of the Gulf, gone. They are doing something.